All right. Then let's dive into a little bit more of the debate on the main topic around what it will take for Apple to double. So if you look at the most bullish analyst, their target, I think, is 270. That's about 23% upside from here. Gene sees 60% upside. Horace, you think it could go even higher. And what I'd love to talk about now is kind of what you think the drivers for the bullish case on Apple are. And can each of you describe the difference between your view and that consensus view that we talked about earlier?
Well, why don't you go ahead, Gene?
Yeah, I think at the core, I believe that Apple is a consumer staple company. When you talk about the user, you talked about creating products, Horace, for the user, and ultimately these are tech products. And when you think about a company that can bring all tech together seamlessly, there's no other company out there that can do it like Apple. And when I say that, it invokes maybe an image of someone who is a fanboy and who only views Apple in the glass half full. In fact, I try to be as middle of the road as possible. And as I look around at the landscape of tech, whether it's services, wearables, phone, the TV, everything that they're kind of bringing together is unique. So at the very core piece is this concept that this is a consumer tech staples company. Now that impacts the multiple, but there needs to be, the business needs to deliver growth. And it doesn't need to be a lot of growth. If you look at companies like Coca-Cola or Procter & Gamble, they're actually not growing. If some of them, in fact, a lot of the consumer staple companies are declining slightly. Coca-Cola, for example. And I think that if, to answer your question, Andrew, what will it take to get the street to view this as a consumer tech company? What it takes is probably a year plus of results that defy what investors are expecting. So right now, just in the past few weeks, investors have gotten more optimistic about the prospects in China and the recent iPhone 11. But China has been contentious for Apple investors. But if, for example, the China number is a strong number for the September quarter, that's one step in this this view that there's something bigger going on here, that it's not just about a product in a quarter, it's more about a theme that is unfolding. And that theme is that there's so many shots on goal, whether it's wearable services, mobile, that are so closely tied together. This is just going to yield a business that's going to grow, call it 5%, despite economic headwinds. And ultimately, I think that will slowly move the multiple higher.
All right.
Just to add to that, I think that the perception shift that needs to happen to get the multiple higher will be, as Gene points out, the perception that the company is no longer bound by either product or seasonal cyclicality and other headwinds or tailwinds that might occur with its supply chain, and would switch into thinking more about these ideas around customers and loyalty. And if that were to happen, and then you can do the math and say, okay, what would happen if we have, even a 1% growth rate on 1 billion people, each of whom owns or has attached a certain number of Apple products, and each Apple product is priced at about $1 a day. And this $1 a day rule of thumb has held pretty strong throughout the Mac and the iPod and the iPhone, and it's maybe a bit more difficult to hold together for the watch and the and services, but they seem to still hold together overall. And when you look at $1 a day for 1 billion customers plus a certain growth rate, you can easily justify. Oh, and of course you have a good solid margin on that. You can justify a much higher enterprise value.